So, you made a decision to lose 10% of your body fat. Good choice. You've got a long road in front of you, and in this video, I'm going to discuss with you the 3 things you need to understand to get to 10% body fat. And these are the 3 things I wish I'd known when I first started down that track. By the way, this isn't about weight training, vitamins, easy solutions, or magical nutrition plan. This is now the actual things that will truly assist you get down to 10% body fat that I would really like to reveal here, because I want to focus on saving you the time, hard work, and a lot of missteps that I did make across my journey. If you're interested in fitness, nutrition, and personal development, consider subscribing. And also make sure to press the bell button to activate notifications so you can be alerted when new videos are released. And now, let's get started. Therefore, the very first thing to know correctly reach around 10% body fat is to know your numbers. You will have to determine how many calories you should eat a day, as well as a week, to stay in that caloric deficit, which is the most relevant factor when it comes to losing weight. And then, to maximize losing weight process, you do want to find out your macronutrients so you know how much protein, carbs, and fats you need to eat per day and see how you react with it. In certain situations, you may respond better to high-carb, low-carb, or even keto diets. After you've determined that, you will need to fix your meal frequency. Perhaps you, like me, react to eating 2 to 3 meals every day and prefer to have an eating window. For example, I enjoy intermittent fasting, in which I eat just inside an 8-hour period and then fast for the rest of the day. So I normally skip breakfast, have my first meal around midday, and then eat my last meal between 7 and 8 p.m. So this works extremely well for me, perhaps for you. You could even reduce that period to 6 hours, which really assists a lot with hunger control when you're getting down to that 10% body fat, so you're not so hungry. As a result, it aids in sticking to the diet program. Now, I understand there are various diets out there when it relates to calories overall. I understand the majority says calories don't work, and you don't have to care about any of the numbers I'm just stating here, and I've tried these methods. I have tried these ways where they just give you a list of meals. They advise you to eat certain meals or not eat certain meals. But what they're actually doing is attempting to put you in a calorie deficit without explaining to you why or even giving you the figures. So in a sense, it's fooling you. And I honestly enjoy knowing the data. I'm a data-driven person. I don't enjoy micromanaging every single thing, but I do need to understand what I'm doing. So while this might appear to be a little bit complex on the surface, and when you first begin, once you find out your calories and macros, it's a very freeing thing, particularly when combined with intermittent fasting. You really get a much greater knowledge of food generally, which will assist you in reaching your goal of 10% body fat. So the second element you need to understand to reach 10% body fat is the 80-20 nutrition rule. And the 80-20 nutrition rule is as follows. Now that you know how many calories you have, you need to spend 80% of them on whole, healthy, natural foods that keep you full, wholesome, and nutritious. And only the rest 20% can be spent on more processed food, junk food, or other things that you want to include in your diet if you want to, and this is extremely essential. If you don't do this, what happens is that people find out their calories, their macros, and once they realize that you can pretty much include any food and still end up losing body fat, that you can eat 50% of your diet from processed foods and still end up losing body fat if you're in a caloric deficit. Many people start applying this understanding incorrectly, and they get closer to having 10% body fat. They are now beginning to cheat on their diet. They are now hungry. Cravings are at an all-time high, and this is precisely what occurred to me when I first discovered the macro stuff, and I don't want you to slip into the same trap. Ensure that 80% of your meals is nutritious so that you don't wire yourself for all of these bad food behaviors, since cravings function in this way. The more you consume that sort of food, the more you'll desire it, and the only way to get rid of it is to lower the quantity of food you eat and sometimes even starve the urges. As you become relatively close to 10% body fat, I suggest adjusting this so that 90% of your nutrition comes from whole, healthy, natural meals, and 10% comes from processed food items and desserts and stuff such as that. And I would even window this into only Saturdays and Sundays and desserts, perhaps after dinner and things like that, where you want to spend those calories smartly so you're not having to eat junk food each single day, and this is a good way to do it. The third thing you should have in order to properly lose 10% body fat is patience with the body fat loss process. You don't need to lose over that 0.5 to 1% of your total body weight every week, and I notice a lot of people make this error. They attempt to manipulate the process. They aim to discover the ideal trick to make things go faster. They include a lot of cardio. They increase their activities. They're lowering their calorie intake. They're not eating enough, and as a result, they become really hungry. Cravings are at an all-time high. They begin to cheat on their diet. They begin to appear flat. They are losing muscular mass. They're growing weaker, and the entire thing gets unsustainable, so they go off course and return to 15 or 20% body fat. If you want to go down to 10% body fat, you'll face a lot of obstacles, one of which will be water weight retention. Several weeks, you will see a flat scale number, and if you don't possess patience, if you don't believe the numbers, which is why you have the numbers in the first place, you'll start trying to cheat on the diet or going to add too much cardio since you think things are progressing, when in fact, you're starting to lose body fat, but the water weight retention is maintaining you at the same number on the scale, which is why you have to trust the process. You'll need to be patient. Also, when I mention 1% of body weight every week, I'm talking about the body fat on the upper end. Once you come close to 10% body fat, and when you reach 12 or 13, you want to drop no higher than 0.5% of your body weight every week. So if you weigh 180 pounds and want to lose 10 pounds, you should aim for 0.9 pounds each week as a weekly goal. Therefore, you don't need to go any quicker than that, since it will get unsustainable and you'll experience all the bad impacts I stated, such as food cravings, muscle loss, and so on. So if you stick to the appropriate rates, stick to the procedure, know your numbers, and follow the 80-20 rule, you'll be okay. That is what I hope to convey to you in this video. Please let me know in the comments if you found this useful.